Hi guys, how are you? And welcome back to another video. Now, first I have to apologize for not uploading anything before we get deeper into the video. I have to apologize, like I said, for not uploading anything for the last couple of weeks, but I do have a full-time job. YouTube is more like a hobby to me, and I do my best to kind of keep you guys updated as often as I can with whatever watches I buy or whatever I do with reviews and so on and so forth. Today I want to talk to you guys about a couple of my favorite budget watches. My line of work doesn't allow me to wear anything very expensive in work, so I just well, very expensive stuff that costs a bit more. So these two would kind of be my go-to watches during the week. They would take a lot of my wrist time, especially when I'm in work. I also have a G-Shock, like I said earlier on, that I mentioned in one of my previous videos, that I wear a lot of, I wear very often, because if I'm around the house, I do a lot of chores or whatever I do, and that's the kind of one that takes a lot of beating. And I'm also, when I'm at the gym, that's also my go-to watch. So these two watches, I work in a restaurant, and I wear a shirt most of the time, and I prefer to kind of rotate these watches. I also have a Seiko 5, but the reason why the Seiko 5 is not in this video, I have a video about this that I made previously about this one. I'll put it into the description box below. The reason why I don't have this watch in this video is because this one doesn't have a sapphire crystal, and these two watches do. And actually, these two watches are still cheaper than this one was. So as we all know, these are not new watches. They have been covered on YouTube before. The main reason why I'm doing this video today is kind of to let you know why I like them so much and why I chose them. So I won't be doing a review. I'll be going through why I like the case, what I did with the straps, and why I chose these particular straps, and why I actually, again, ultimately, why I chose these particular watches. So right off the bat, we have the Guanqin 0184. Now this is the one with the white dial. The one that I reviewed in my video before was the one with a black dial, and that was the 0194. So that had numerals, I think, at the 12, 6, 3, and 9, and it was with a black dial and on a metal strap. Now the Guanqin, I've reviewed this one in one of my first videos, and actually I have this watch for close to a year now, and I love it because, again, it's very good and also very well built. Now, the Guanqin. So this one originally came on one of these straps. Well, they both came on brown straps. Now these would kind of be your standard straps that these watches, most of these watches on AliExpress or GearBest or whatever, come on if they do decide to, you know, put them on genuine leather. It's not a bad strap by any means, but you can find something better there, and I don't particularly like the crocodile pattern. I put it on this. I put it on the brown. This brown, a little padding here on the top, 20mm genuine leather. I picked this up from this company, ZLIMSN, also from AliExpress, for a $5. And the cool part is that it's very, very comfortable, and it does come with the with quick release spring bars, which is kind of cool, and you can always switch it. So I will be buying from these guys again. I have another one that I had on a different watch, and they're actually very good quality for the money that you pay for them, and this particular one was about a $5. I like this watch, and I chose this one to go, like I said, with this brown leather strap. It kind of makes it look a bit more elegant, considering the fact that the watch is very, very slim. Well, it's very slim. It's 11 millimeters thick, and it has a very, very simple dial, and I actually like the fact that it just keeps it nice, simple, and elegant. It features it's a 40mm dial, and it has it's 48mm lug to lug, so it actually wears very, very small on the wrist. I don't have a very big wrist. I have a 6.3-inch wrist, and I actually like it because it kind of slips into the cuffs really quick. So you could actually hang it on the shirt, so it's actually very nice. Now moving to the Guanqin. So the Guanqin, I would see the Guanqin more as of a casual, considering the fact that it still has the crocodile leather strap. Now this strap, I bought the strap. I'm Eastern European. I'm Romanian actually, and I live in Ireland. And I actually bought the strap from when I was visiting a year ago for a different watch. So I just had it around the house, and it's a good quality strap. made home, made in Romania, I would say. But it's actually a very good strap, and I think it was cost a fiver. And this is the strap that the Guanqin came on. Again, not a bad strap, but it's very, very similar to this one, to the one that you would find on the Starking. So still, I'm just going to put these aside. I did actually decide to keep the, so it comes on this folding clasp. So no release mechanism, just folding clasp. You just pull it. It's still, it's not the best, but then again, it's not the worst. And I actually, for for this purpose alone, for the purpose of, I'm just comfortable, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money, and I didn't actually want to put anything else. And I like the Guanqin engraved on the clasp here, so I actually added on that. So if you put that in there, let me just move that. It actually fits really, like, it's really, really comfortable still. So it actually fits the watch, and because of the dial. So this is a 41mm dial, and the 16 sides. I think it's 16 sides on the bezel. And actually, I think this is more of a casual watch. So has the crown is actually kind of small. It's not very big, so I would see it more as a casual watch. And it has longer lugs. So this one has 49mm from lug to lug, so it wears a bit bigger on the wrist. But still, you can pull this off, I would say, as a dress piece as well. And it actually still works with the white shirts that I have. But due to the actual size, it actually makes it bigger. So moving on, I want to talk a little bit about the movement of the watches, and the pros and the cons of these two watches, and why I actually prefer them. But still, they do have pros and cons. But these are things that you're willing to overlook. So firstly, let's go on the Starking. So like I said earlier on, it does have a lovely dial, nice simple dial, and it does feature a Starking claims that it's a in-house movement, but I don't know, because it takes, I think, you know yourself, like, it takes a lot of resources to make your own movement, but it's probably a modified Seagull or something. Anyway, not a lot of people know much about the movement, but still. So this is a 28,000 beats per hour movement. Now, the downside to this is that, Starking hasn't been on the market for that long on AliExpress, and you don't know how reliable the movement is, as opposed to the Guanqin. By the way, you can find links into the description box for both of these watches. I didn't mention the models, the model numbers, just going a little bit off topic. This is the Starking 0184 AM, and this is the Guanqin GJ16034. So to get back on point, the Starking has the in-house, let's just say in-house movement, and the Guanqin has a Seiko NH36. Now, we all know that this Seiko NH36 you'd find it in loads of these base models, loads of these cheap Chinese watches. But the thing is that you know how reliable they are, so they don't need that much servicing, and has about roughly about a 40-hour power reserve, as opposed to this one. This one still has around 40 hours of power reserve, as far as I remember. But you don't know how reliable the movement is. So the watch can particularly stop, let's say, in a few months from now. Granted, now, since the watch has been on the market, since Starking has been on the market, it has been a few months, and I haven't heard anybody complaining about it. But, this watch, when I bought it, was around $45. And at one stage, for the 11th of the 11th, you could get this watch for around $38, which was actually a steal. The movements, like I said, in the Guanqin is the Seiko NH36 with a day-date function, and it has a 44, a little bit over 40-hour power reserve, and it's actually a very reliable movement. Hacking and hand winding. Also, this one has hacking and hand winding, which is good. So you pull the crown out, so the second marker stops. Pull it back in one position, that goes back, and it has a quick date set function as well, and that's also kind of good. And same as with the Guanqin and with the Seiko, date function. So this is hacking and hand winding, and again, first position, you pull that of the crown once, you change the day, and going down, you change the date. So just put that back in there. Now these watches, both of them offer very, very good value for money. They both have sapphire crystals, which is very, very good. And like I said earlier on, the main reason why I don't have the Seiko on most of the time on my wrist until I actually change the crystal is because it has a hard licks. Now, in fairness, I am a fan of wearing my watches, so that would be that's also it's still good, and the Seiko doesn't cost that much. But I prefer these ones. I just think they look like the Seiko looks amazing. But you know, if you want to rotate them, why not? Now, negatives about the watches, to get back on it, the date function on the Starking is kind of small, because I was kind of veering a bit off topic there. The date function is the date window is kind of small. There's no magnification, so you can't see it. Well, you can't see it. You can, but it's kind of hard to see. The movement also, it's unreliable. So, and there's no lume on the hands. But being a dress piece, you wouldn't expect lume, but still there's no lume on the hands. Moving on to the Guanqin, this one has a few kind of defects as well. So quality control is not the best, because if you look on the flat sapphire crystal there, I'm just going to put this closer to the camera. See, it is flat, but it's not pressed all the way in. So on this end here, I mentioned in one of my previous videos, it's protruding out a bit more. But then again, that's fine. You know, pardon me there, I'm hiding the camera. Then again, it's fine. The watch doesn't cost that much, so still. And to mention the lume again, it is the poor lume on the hands. So again, it's okay. You can, you know, if you do decide to mod, I've seen, you know, people have started, the gentleman from Just One More Watch, Jody, he has a video where he changes the hands on he puts a set of snowflake hands on his Guanqin. And I think now if you do decide to buy this watch, it comes with so now this one has a Seiko, like I said, Seiko NH36, but now they have been shipping them out with Myotas. So I don't know exactly what you get, because it's a bit of a mixed thing. You might get them with a Seiko NH36, you might get it with a Myota. Now I'm going to put these ones on the wrist to show you guys how they look like and how they look on the wrist, and why particularly I chose the one over. Well, why I do kind of rotate them. So I'm just going to take my Seiko off there, and I'm going to take my top off as well, because why not? It's kind of cold in the house, so yeah, just throw that away. Yeah, a bit of a silent there. Now just put the Seiko up there, just so you have an idea how size. Seiko is a 38mm. It's a beautiful dial on it, and the Starking is a 40, and the Guanqin is a 41. Now I have, like I said, I have a 6.3-inch wrist. So the strap on the Starking, the Guanqin is actually pretty comfortable, like I said earlier on. And there you go. That's how it fits with the little folding clasp there, with the press clasp. So it's actually pretty good. Like I can't complain for the money that you're paying for it initially for the watch. Now this watch is around $55. So it still has, it's 49 from lug to lug, but it still wears pretty good because the lug kind of fit the shape of your hand. So again, I still think it's pretty much at the limit. Like I can only pull a 41mm watch, just about. Now I should have given it a bit of a clean, but that's okay. There you go, and that's how it looks like. I had watches, like I had 42mm watches before this, and I thought they would look good, but now when I look back at them again, I don't actually think they look good anymore. So there you go. So you have an idea how that looks. Now let's pop the Starking on the wrist to show how that looks again. So I do intend to, like I said, to buy a few more straps with that company that I mentioned earlier on, and see how they fit, because the quality that you get for the strap for a $5, and also with the quick release spring bars. So that's how the Starking looks on my wrist. For a second there I was like, oh my god, I scratched it, but like, no. So that's how the Starking looks on the wrist. There you go, all the way. Nice comfortable leather strap, I would say. And the lugs from the Starking, they're actually, like, because it has a slightly shorter distance between the lugs, it does actually wear a bit tighter and a bit smaller on the wrist, and they do actually kind of fit the shape of your hand more than the Guanqin. So I actually do sometimes, like, in fairness, like last week I think I wore this one more than I wore this one, just because. but I might change now and then, you know, because you kind of have to. So, well, sometimes when I do decide to go out just to the shop or whatever, I you know, from grocery shopping or whatever, I might put the Guanqin on depending on whatever I'm wearing. I do have to change the strap on this as well. I'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll do a future video where we do a bit of a strap fashion show. But that's that. Now, guys, if you have a couple of your favorite watches that you like to, favorite budget watches that you like to share, please feel free to mention them in the comment section below. Like I said, please do like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Share, and thank you very, very much for watching until the end. Now, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. I have another watch lined up for you guys for next week. Thank you again, like I said, for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.